1989, when I first took on this ministry, this church pastorate thing, I was leaving business. I was in middle management of a Fortune 100 company, and I heard this calling that I was supposed to be in ministry. And so I was ready to take on the world, and I got the first phone call, somebody wanted to come see the pastor. Boy, I was ready. Had everything set, and they sat down and said, "I need your help." I said, "What happened?" "My cat died." I was unprepared. I hate cats. Do I confess or do I hold on? What do I do? Do I fake empathy or do I really put it on? A million thoughts going through my mind as I sat there and said, "Really?" Going to a small group of pastors, Dick always likes it when I say this, I describe our small group a lot like this, is like going to a square dance with all callers. And, everybody's kind of there, and we're all used to being the talkers and everything else. And it really is different. Having spent a good number of years, 20 years in business, and then changing to the ministry, you have an expectation. You've been watching this guy up front and doing different things, and you get this idea of what it's like and everything else. And let me just tell you a couple of things that surprised me. Just a couple of things that surprised me. One was, how do you evaluate whether you did a good job or not on a Sunday? Because people tell you always did a good job, then you find out later you didn't. And then I concluded that on any given Sunday, 20% of the people are mad at me because they're mad at God, and I'm a good surrogate. And suddenly you start feeling like you're really this accomplished person, and you're filled with insecurity, and you're not sure what to do with it all. There's a whole lot of things like that go on. It's just this really weird thing, because I was recently reading a book called Next by Warren Bird and William Vanderblom, and in it they made a statement. They said, being a ministry is really unusual, being a pastor, because it's the only job in the world where your personal spiritual development is under constant examination and being evaluated. Okay, you're supposed to be the one that's helping everybody else grow in their spiritual life, their discipleship, but then you're supposed to be okay all the time. And let me tell you, we're not. We are not okay all the time. And I appreciate some of the authenticity that was just up here, people trying to tell you that. But it's really a funny thing when you're the person that's standing there and supposed to be the pillar of faith, the knower of discipleship wisdom, and inside it's falling apart. I used to go to a lot of small groups, pastor small groups, and I gave up. The callers just were really painful. And so I was invited to come to the group I go to, and some of my fellow callers are here. And I said to the person that was leading, I said, "This is it, and this is the last one I'm trying, because they don't work. It's just too hard." That was about 7 years ago. Our group, we were just recently talking, and we were saying how if I get a text from one of my fellow group members or an email, but particularly a text, that's what we tend to do, and I'm in a meeting or anything, I'll kind of take out my text and I'll text back and say, "Call you in 5 minutes." They become if we have great respect for one another's time, and if we need something, it comes in no matter what, and it gets our attention, we all agreed. For example, and this is true, this week I got a text during the week at 3:46 a.m. from one of my fellow callers. Now, when the phone goes off in the middle of the night, you know it's not good, right? And it was simply this: I'm up, praying, got this problem with this emotional situation, don't know what this person's going to do, can't sleep, pray for me. All the years I worked in business, that never happened. It just never happened. I had one boss. I knew what they did. They knew what I did. I knew what their expectations were. I knew what my job was. Today I got a board that all has different opinions of me, and I have different opinions of them. Everyone in my church thinks they know how to do my job better than me. They have me for dinner every Sunday. I think I've been to their house a couple of times. It's an interesting life because you're to be on all the time. So what does the John 17:23 group do? Gives you a place to not be on. Once you get past where all the callers begin to dance together and you really start talking, it's a great place to just let it down and say, stinks today. God feels far from me today. And you don't have to worry about what your board thinks. You don't have to worry about what your congregation thinks. And you can get it out and get it said, and then go back and be the man God called you to be. And every pastor needs that. Every pastor, no matter of their race, their gender, no matter where they come from, they need that. And I have a love for Dick and for this ministry. And I wish that every pastor got paid well enough that they didn't have to do this. I really do. But that's not the case. And that's sad, but it's true. And so if you can help out tonight and help this ministry, there's a lot of guys out there and gals who really need a friend, and they'd do so much better if they had that friend, and you'd be expanding that friendship in some meaningful way. Thank you.